And we are on. What's going on, everybody? Let me pop up my chat real quick. Oh, chat is going insane because I think I know why. It's certainly not because I'm hanging out, because you guys see way too much of me anyway. It's because of the man to my whatever this way is, because everything's turned around on the internet world. I don't understand how this shit works. But yes, Mr. Joel, Mr. Just Right One, what's going on, brother?
Salute. How about it, man? Blessed to be here another day in paradise, you know?
Absolutely. Hell yeah. And I'm super stoked to have you, man. It's been a long time since we talked. And I always respected what you do, because in a lot of ways, like me, you don't have any qualms saying what's on your mind, and you are willing to back it up, you know, as opposed to a lot of people that just speak out one side of their face and don't actually fucking, you know, man, follow through.
Let me ask this. How old are you, man?
I am 38.
You don't know how old you are, brother?
Dude, it gets hard when you get this age, man.
See, man, you were raised in California, correct?
Correct.
All right. See, I'm 30. How old am I now?
See, what the fuck are you talking about? Oh, how old are you? Oh, how old are you?
36 now. I'm 36 years old.
There you go.
And I was raised in a different time than what's out there today, man.
Absolutely.
The way I was brought up is if you said something, you'd be damn well better be ready to stand on what you said, because somebody's going to hold you accountable for what the words that you came out of your mouth.
Absolutely correct.
I've never wavered in that. That's something that I hold very, very near and dear to my heart, you know, and it's a dying breed, and it's something that I'm fortunate enough to have 2 sons.
There you go.
So I can do my best to ensure that they live by the same, I don't even want to say like street code or anything like that, just the accountability within themselves, that if you say something, damn, you better be ready to stand on top of it.
And it has nothing to do with street. It just has to do with being brought up with respect. You know, I come from a military family, right? I was in the Army. All my grandparents.
Well, that makes sense, because my granddaddy retired Air Force, and he raised me
all in the Navy.
13, and he told me, son, don't speak on something unless you're ready to stand on whatever you're saying, whatever it is you're speaking.
Absolutely. You stand up for what you believe, and let people know what you believe, and then stand behind that. You know, it's not that hard. Don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal. Boom. Rock and roll. Be respectful. I was talked to like an adult from the time I was a kid, and I think that did me wonders. You know what I mean? I was never coddled. I was never, oh yeah, that's a good. I never got a trophy when I didn't fucking win something. That's for goddamn sure. You know what I mean? And it's definitely a lost thing in the world today.
Yeah, you talk about not getting a trophy for not winning, man. Losing builds character. You know what I mean?
Sure does.
Lose at anything, no matter what.
Yeah.
Always. And if you're at the top, somebody's coming for you. You know what I mean? That's just the reality of the boxing world. You can be number 1, but you better know that there's somebody nipping on your heels ready to take that belt from you.
And that's a world that I came from. That's what I did my whole life leading up to the Army.
So losing is not something I'm afraid to do. Some people are afraid to lose because they think, oh, if I lose, it's going to take away from my credibility or my character or my validation and such. I don't give 2 shits about losing. I'll be the first. I'm a man to tell you right now, I've had my ass handed to me plenty of times.
Several.
In my natural given life, I think what I have left on this planet Earth, with my mouth and my attitude, I expect to have my ass handed to me. But I do accept the fact that that's just part of fucking living. I'm not afraid to have my ass handed to me.
You learn more from a loss than you do from a win.
You do. I always felt that way.
Absolutely, 100%. You know, and that's the problem with the whole everybody gets a trophy mentality, is that those kids that are getting those trophies for not winning aren't learning, you know,
how to lose.
Exactly.
So when they lose, they wig the fuck out and they go start shooting up schools and shit.
Exactly. And you
know how to take that loss. They didn't know how to take that ass whooping.
You get into real life.
It's okay. Lost.
Yeah.
I can come back and try again. Yep. Nothing says because you lost, you can't come back to the table and try again. Yep. You lose a hand of poker. Do you not ante up again?
That's the point, right? I mean, am I crazy, or is that the fucking point? You know? And I just don't understand it, man. What's up, girl? Becky Buckwild's got a hangover. That's not anything new. Mr. Just Right One in the chat. What's up, brother? Nifty 163. That's my homeboy from Australia. That is Neville. See, if I can remember a weird name like Neville, you know that I still have my faculties. As much as I've drowned my brain in stupidity, I still got a little bit. Vapors Odyssey, what's up, brother? T Gets, Thomas Crow, yeah. David Moyle, ID Voca. I love me some ID Voca. I think you know ID Voca, right, Joel?
Man, I got the utmost respect for that gentleman right there.
He's the
From
best.
day one, I've always seen him not just in my chats or Stu chats or whatever. He's around the whole community.
He's a
I
beautiful
see
human.
that name and it stands out. But I noticed him on Instagram first.
Yeah.
He's my online nemesis. We have a love-hate relationship. I love to see his posts, but I hate to see his posts
Because they're all
because he's
beautiful.
some of the most kick-ass mods. But I hate seeing it because he has some kick-ass mods.
Right? It's a little bit of that like admiration mixed with jealousy that feels like an awesome cocktail of respect. You know what I mean? So we got Cloud King Cody. What's up, brother? And who else? Just Jason, Terrence Williams. Okay. If I don't get to you, I'll try and get to you later, but I think I got everybody that's here right now. Either way, so speaking of awesome mods and speaking of ID Voca, I got to give a shout out every time I do one of these. Because, oh man, my lighting sucks in here. But this is the Executive Mini with the Expremizer V4. This was sent to me by ID Voca. Dude, he's such a sweetheart, man. Oh, here we go. Dude, don't make me look like I suck, bro.
Man, we're gonna make ID look like a damn god.
I know. Oh, did he get you something?
Yeah, and look, I keep it. This is how I keep it.
Oh my god.
Exactly as it was sent to me. The note that came along with it.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful letter you sent me too.
In my dresser as well. So,
oh, is that what is it, Dionysi or something like that?
Danessa.
Oh, those are so rad. You know what you got?
This is a beautiful, beautiful piece. Hard hitting 18650.
Bro, I bet you that titanium profile matches that thing pretty good.
What's funny is I did a presentation for the titanium profile, and he reached out to me and said, "Man, I think it would look really good on there, bro."
Did I just nail it? Did I nail it?
It looks really, really, really good on there. I know he probably thinks, "Man, I sent it to him. I don't ever see him using it." Man, this is like,
it's a fucking gorgeous. I've seen him in person, and they are fucking next level.
It's one of those pieces, man, where you want to use it because it's a gift that somebody sent you, and it's a beautiful, beautiful specimen of where vaping as a whole. You know, the artistic value in vaping as well. But it's one of those things too, where, man, if something was to ever happen to this,
right,
I would probably catch a case or something because I would lose it.
I know, right?
I really would, and I don't do well on receiving gifts. When people give me gifts, man, I've never been the guy that does well at receiving gifts. I'm always the one that gives gifts to keep people from giving me shit.
Yep, and it's also a product of that upbringing too. Because I know when I was a kid, when Christmas came around, I got one thing. It was a rad thing, but I wasn't showered with shit, and I appreciated that one thing. You know,
I got underwear and socks,
right? And you fucking appreciate it. You know?
Shit, man, I underwear and socks. That's what I got for Christmas. But to get gifts like that, dude, it's something I'll hold near and dear. The mod is great. I love the mod. It's a beautiful piece.
Beautiful.
But the letter that came with it, like
Even
I
better.
said before, the day they put the dirt on my casket, man, you can go to my wife and ask her, "Hey, I'm so-and-so. I wrote Joel a letter," and she's going to have a stack of birthday cards and letters that people wrote me. You know, that's what means the world to
That's
me. You know
awesome.
what I mean? There's a personal touch to that I'll always be appreciative of.
And I love that about you.
Kick-ass dude right there, man.
Yeah.
Damn sure.
Yeah, he's amazing. And so that actually kind of leads into something else because, you know, I'm pretty cool and I nailed it that profile would look rad on there. Tell me a little bit. We got 1 year of the profile? Is that a thing? Am I right?
Yeah, we just passed up the 1 year mark of the profile.
Get the fuck. God, time fucking flies, doesn't it?
You think it flies on that end of it? On this end of it, man, it's been nonstop, you know, since probably 92 months, 3 months after the profile released. It's been like, when's your next project? When's your next project? Then we followed it up with the Unity, the RTA version of the profile. And then it's like, when's your next project? When's your next project? I'm like, you got to pace yourself a little bit.
Isn't that the worst? Isn't that the worst? I mean, it's not the worst thing about the industry, but it is top 3 in my list of like, oh, what have you done for me lately? Fuck you. I just came up with something amazing. Why don't you just appreciate it for a little while and then I'll blow your fucking doors off in 6 months? Why do I have to do something every month? You know, it doesn't make any sense. When you fucking put the time and effort that you did into that, I can respect that. Even though, like I've said, it's not necessarily my kind of vape, but I respect all the work that went into it. I respect the ingenuity. I respect the everything about it, really.
It's one of those things, man, where I appreciate you respecting the profile and everything behind it, you know, but too often, man, not just in vape, but in life in general, we forget to enjoy the fucking journey, man. I wanted to do this. The profile is more than just a vape concept to me. It's a lifelong dream of mine to have an idea from here, go to something that I can hold in my hand, and not just hold in my hand myself, but to have people around the world
absolutely
recognize something that came from here, that had I not been played the cards right or had the opportunities laid before me with the meeting of people and consulting for different companies and just, you know, the response, just doing everything the right way up until that point, it would have never came to be, man. They'd have put me in the ground and it would have never happened.
Nice.
So this is like a lifelong dream of mine.
That's fantastic. I love that, man.
See it come to be, I'm in no rush to watch it end.
Thank you.
I'm enjoying the ride. Like,
enjoy it.
To be perfectly honest with you, if I never released another damn product, I would still enjoy the ride just as much then as I did up until that moment.
And as much as that doesn't matter to people like this, if you only released that one product, if there was such a thing as the Vape Hall of Fame, you'd have your fucking bust in it. I'll tell you that. But I mean, obviously, that's not. You're not gonna just rest on those laurels. Obviously, you're doing other things like the Profile Unity that you did with Brian, who I fucking love, by the way. He is just the greatest fucking dude ever, man.
He's a teacher, man.
He is. God, he's so willing to fucking give his expertise, you know?
You know somebody's really good at something when they can teach others, you know, like, and he wouldn't directly do something to teach me how to do something. By watching his responses to maybe issues that came up in the designing process or his like mindset of how to approach something.
Yeah.
Just sitting back and watching, because I mean, we're in group chats with China constantly around the clock. You know, I wanted to answer as quick, you know, and it was tough for me because I'm the driver. I sit in the driver's seat. Absolutely. I want control. I want the wheel. I want the gas. I want the brake. I want the gear shift. I want all of that.
Type A personality.
I don't want to give none of that up.
Yeah.
You know, I want to hold all that. But to have somebody of his magnitude come in, I had to sit my ass in the passenger seat and say, okay, you're the captain.
Yeah.
I'm the co-captain here. You're the captain. I'm the co-captain. Let's see how this plays out. And in doing so, I was able to learn a lot from him. And I tell him thank you all the time. He's like, man, I didn't do nothing. I'm like, shit.
Every time I see you guys.
You didn't do nothing, but I promise you.
Every time I see you guys on a stream, that's the first thing you say. And that goes back to upbringing. It's the respect factor. While you know that this is a concept that is entirely yours, you're willing to be humble enough to know that someone like Brian has just a wealth of information, a wealth of knowledge, and you're willing to absorb some of that and be respectful of it, you know? And that is fucking something that is so out of the realm of fucking thought for so many people in general, and especially in this industry, you know? And that's why I've always had respect for you, because I see that. I know that. I pay attention when you talk, you know? I'm not just, you know, that's just the way I am. And I don't know. And yeah, I haven't tried the Unity because I had my things with the Profile. Just the fact that, you know, because when I first got it, I might as well get into it, because we have a bunch of people in the chat talking about, I got 4 profiles. I love the Profile. The Profile is the best thing in the world. And I'm not saying that it's not. I'm just saying that when I literally got one the first day. Like the first day it was available, I ordered it from whatever website, right? And it was the original Wotofo strips, and they were rated pretty low, right? And I understood that because as a new product, especially a mesh product, where if any of you guys have been around long enough, you understand that back in the days, a mesh dry hit is like sucking a dragon's dick. I mean, it's the worst feeling you're ever going to get in your world. But what Joel did, which is the most innovative part of the product, I think, is the spring-loaded ceramic plate at the bottom, which basically eliminates that whole situation of the dry hit with mesh. So the thing that I had was it was too cool for me because of the stock Wotofo mesh strips. But apparently they've come out with new ones since then, which I definitely have to try. And I've also heard that in the Unity, with the fact that it wicks amazingly, which I was also kind of worried about, but I've heard nothing but fantastic things, that you can get a super dense, nice hot vape out of that. So I'm super excited to try it now.
The Unity itself, man, it's not a beginner's vape. I don't ever want to get that conception that the Unity is for the beginning vapor, you know. And as with the majority of RTAs that are not top airflow RTAs, you have to understand your wicking.
Absolutely.
And you have to have and now, to me, it's common sense, but I can't expect that of the consumer,
a new person,
common sense, because they may not have the time with vaping. You know, like I look back on this and say, you know, I've been vaping for a very, very long time. So I just take that for granted, you know, that everybody should be doing. But the reality of it is that's not the point. That's not the way that works. The Unity can be tricky to wick. If you understand reason why things are done the way they are, you can have yourself a very, very, very flavorful vape.
Awesome.
If somebody says they don't get flavor off the Unity, I automatically tell them you're doing something wrong.
Yeah. That's on you, fuckface. Get it right. You know what I mean? Because I've heard the same thing.
The flavor that I didn't think I could get better flavor than what I got on the profile itself, the RDA. And then when we tag team with Brian on this Unity to get the flavor that I got off of it, dude, I was set back. I was
wait a minute. Are you saying that the Unity has more flavor than the fucking profile?
I feel that way.
Really?
You know,
even having to go through that chimney? I mean, because the profile, what I love about the profile, not only the fact that the honeycomb airflow is super smooth, which is that's my jammy jam. I love me some honeycomb fucking airflow. But it's a very squatty, very low set RDA, and it's a very condensed chamber once you fill it with cotton, because for a mesh RDA, you have to have a lot of cotton in there, right? So all that extra space is taken up, and with that honeycomb airflow, you're going to get nice action inside of there, and your fucking drip tip is this high off of it. So, you can't help but get amazing flavor off that. But with the Unity, I mean, you have to deal with the chimney section. So that's very surprising to me.
And what the Unity did with the chimney section, the way it's designed and everything being real short, is it condenses that chamber even more.
Okay.
I was concerned at first when it came out with just having one row of airflow versus having the honeycomb like the profile did, but it's directed at the mesh to come up. I mean, it's all works together like it's intended.
That's nice.
And that is, I can't take credit for all that. You know, I got to give the majority of that credit to Brian and to Wotofo on this Unity.
They all did wonderful, but you can definitely take the majority of the credit for it, because the whole fact is it's built around your concept, regardless of what else is going on. It's built around your concept. So I know that you're humble and you're very respectful, but I will say that yes, it is the majority of Joel's fucking project. But those other people did amazing things, especially Brian, especially Wotofo. I mean, from all things I've heard, Wotofo is a great company to work with, and I know Brian personally, and he's a fantastic fucking human. So, you know, it is what it is. But I want to give you the credit that you fucking deserve, man.
I appreciate that, man. I really do. Raven Shadow Vapes asked a question in chat. I'm going to answer that real quick.
Sir.
So, Mr. Just Right, do you have any plans to develop a beginner style RDA, RTA in the future?
That's interesting.
I don't.
Yeah.
And for one simple reason, beginner style RDA, I would say a profile. Like it's not tricky on profile. Just
super
put plenty
simple.
of cotton, make sure the cotton is in constant contact with your mesh. You're going to be good to go. That's a simple build. You don't have to count wraps. You don't have to count shit. All you got to do is bend it around the mesh, insert it, and rock. As far as RTA, I don't have any plans to do a beginner style RTA. Before I pursue down a beginner RTA, I would go with a sub-ohm tank, because that's what beginners should be.
That is where you should start.
That's where you should start, like the natural progression of things, like we did, like I did way back when. Whenever I got a sub-ohm tank and evolved from there. So. To say that I would be considering either one of those, not at this moment. No, if anything, I'm getting close to the end of my vape design touch of things. I've had a goal since day one, and I'm a firm believer of lay out a plan, stick to the plan. Mm-hmm. Don't waver from the plan. Don't get distracted by this or blinded by the shiny things or the greenbacks and the dead guys over there. Don't get blinded by none of that. Stick to the plan, and everything that's due will come in due time.
Exactly.
I'm a firm believer of that. Like if you set out on a mission, you don't waver and, let me grab this. No, you stick exactly. If somebody falls, they fall. You keep moving forward.
There's a reason why patience is a virtue is a very known saying, because it's fucking true. You know? It absolutely is. If you're always looking forward to the immediate future without having any long-term goals, then you're destined for failure.
Yeah. It's something that it takes a lot of self-discipline to lay out a plan 100%. Prior to ever getting a foot out the door one and sticking to that plan for your entire till you reach your goal, you know, and that was to do 5 projects. You know, that's what I wanted. I wanted 5 projects in this industry, 1 in each market share accordingly. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean that I won't help other companies. I won't advise or refine products that are already existing products, or a company has a project consulting. Yeah. And, you know, if they say, okay, well, this is a deal between X company and Mr. Just Right One, it will be, but it won't be designed by, it'll be refined. That will be clearly printed in bold fucking lettering if we have to, refined by Mr. Just Right One.
Which is a distinction that's severely lacking.
I think it is.
And it needs to be something, and you know, I'm so fucking happy you just said that, because so little people have enough balls to just be like, oh yeah, I kind of helped out with that. There's no fucking shame in kind of helping out with something. That's a big deal. But
yeah, it is.
You know,
we've afforded opportunities that others are not, you know, and people actually value our input and our mindset. And if that's the case, be proud of that. Don't like shun that or put that to the background. You know, be proud of that. Be very proud of that and say, yes, that was refined by me.
Exactly.
You know, or refined. And I want to make that very clear that, yeah, I'm doing 5 products. But if there's a product you see come under the table, you're like, damn, well, how come Mr. Just Right his name on it? Read the fine print or read the bold print, because it's going to say refined by Mr. Just Right.
And you know what? I don't think that it'll be too difficult, because I'm sure that you will shout it from the mountaintops, regardless of what the company may or may not do, because that's kind of integrity you have. But I do actually, that's kind of a good transition into the next thing I wanted to talk about. So Bogan has done something very similar with Dopo. He did the RTA, the Blotto, and he just gave them some finishing touches, some aesthetic stuff. They had a deck, he refined that, and he's been very clear about it. That, hey, I just did this and this and this. And that also leads to, you're doing some reviews now, right? I mean, you used to do them sporadically, but it looks like you're doing some pretty like consistent stuff. And I'd like to hear about that.
Truth be told, I'm not going to sit here and put on a front or anything to anybody out there. I was given a separation package from not just a job. Like people say, oh, I was let go from the job or he lost his job. No, it was a career. It was a career path that I'd chosen that over a decade in.
Yeah.
That I committed to. I mean, I missed out on birthdays and school functions and shit because the job called for that. I was offered a separation package in which I took. I was really given a choice on the matter. It was either you're going to take it or we're gone anyway. I was like, yeah, let me get my ends together while I could.
Right.
And there's free time that come about with that. And I'm an individual that I have to stay busy.
Can't be stagnant.
It doesn't matter what day of the week it is. It doesn't matter how I'm feeling. I have to stay busy. I have to stay doing something.
Yeah.
And the reviews, man, I enjoy it.
Are you really liking it? I've dipped my toe a little bit, and I won't do any kind of reviews, but like I did with the I had Eric on last week in this kind of format, and I did a little video just like a, hey, this is something that I got that I like kind of thing, and it was for that Squid Squad, right? And honestly, it was fun, you know. It was kind of freeing, just like, hey, I can do whatever I want. I'm not beholden to anybody. I'm not trying to sell anything. This is something I like. Let me do something stylistic in a way that I think is cool and put it out to the public.
And it's one of those things that I'm not saying every reviewer does it, you know, but I mean, you're not fooling nobody when you like every fucking thing that's put across the table. Not everything is good.
Nope. Goddamn right.
It's not. I'm not getting these companies reach out to me. Hey, what does it cost for a review? It doesn't cost you a damn thing for the review. I don't give a shit if I like the product or not, but send me something to reward back to the community. Give me something to give back to the people.
Yep.
And not just my Patreons. I do have a loyal bit of Patreons out there. Salute, respect to those guys. I appreciate every one of them, but I'm not doing it for the monetary gain. I'm still getting the same money I was making doing my career, but I got a year vacation basically. So I'm capitalizing on that now.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to tell the people whenever there's something that I don't like or there is something that I do like. Luckily, most everything I've gotten now, I really do enjoy.
Have you gotten any real stinkers yet?
Man,
Not really,
I
right? I
tried
mean,
to see a
everything's
video on an RDA the other day that it's a good RDA. It's just not for me.
yeah, which is totally understandable. That's me in a nutshell. There's a lot of great shit that I just don't like because I don't like it. Whatever, deal with it.
And I did the comparison. Vapor Jen just said right there. I really loved. He took the Vert, the King, and MacLife and compared all three for the consumer. Why did I do that? Because those are three very, very popular constant contact 21700 compatible mech mods on the market. There's somebody out there facing that decision right now.
That's a fantastic
buy a MacLife? Do I buy a King or do I buy the Vert from Unicorn?
Yeah.
And it's no secret, man. Everybody knows me and Trevor, Unicorn Vapes, do solid. I love the hell out of the guy. But if I'm faced with that same decision today that I was whenever I put those three compared against each other, I would still pick the MacLife over all of them. Why? Because it's affordable. It's something that somebody on a budget, if they're looking to get into something, they can get a very, very good vape off that thing. A very, very nice. It's a lot of things are done right in that design.
Yeah, totally. And I know you have a relationship with Unicorn. I know they did like a red knurled.
Just right edition, yes, sir. Yeah. And a lot of people asked about that whenever I did it. You know, that wasn't something that me and him did together like a collaboration and he's going to sell them. No. What I did was I reached out to him and said, look, man, I really, really enjoy your MDX kit, the knurled edition, the brass. I said, I really, really enjoy that mod.
That's the only one that I like.
He's like, yeah, we can do a red one. I said, let's do 50 of them as a Just Right edition. I'm going to buy all of them.
Yeah.
And I'm going to sell them and hand them out accordingly to who I think needs to have them.
That's right.
And he's like, cool, man. You know, but that was my way of thanking the loyal supporters and people that really wanted it. I put that list up, man, and I think 50 of them sold in less than like 42 minutes or something like that.
Nice. That's fantastic.
It was crazy. And he's like, dude, I ain't sold 50 mods in a day in a long time.
I know, right? Seriously. Well, you know, and I have a little bit of experience with Unicorn. They're literally some of the nicest people that I've ever interacted with on the internet. I've never met any of them. But honestly, and they sent me quite a few mods because they wanted my feedback. Because, I mean, I've been doing, just like you, I've been doing this forever, right? And I had nothing but problems with them, right? And I explained that to them, and they were very fucking cool about it, you know? And they, you know, there was problems with the switch. They had some overspray stuff, and it was, you know, it's no big deal. But what I've seen is that they took, not my feed, I'm not saying that I have anything to do with it, but like they took feedback from the community, and they created the Vert, which I've heard just outstanding things about, and I'm really happy for them, because I may come off like I'm mean or rude to people or whatever, but I'm just being fucking honest and frank. I don't know any other way to talk, you know? And the fact is, I had issues with all the ones they sent me, but now the new ones that come out, they look fucking amazing.
And that's, you go back and look at the beginning of Wodafo, when Wodafo started, their products, man. Clones. They were fucking clone products to begin.
Yeah.
You know, like, but they've evolved now to what they have today.
Which is, I think, one of the best Chinese vape companies that there is, period.
Yeah, I would give them that. And I would also say that they grew in the right direction, you know, and there's other companies that is doing the same. You said you spoke on Bogan earlier. If people don't realize that DovPo has made an about face, man, and like the product, like
yes, sir.
They're coming into their own right now, and it is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing to witness. You know, again, I'm sure they're going to credit Brian with the top side for, you know, revolving that door for them.
Well, yeah, that definitely got their foot in the door of a lot of homes in America. I'll tell you right now, because that top side
became a name that a lot of people are familiar with, and I love seeing not just companies, but individuals coming into their own. Right, you know, like you see that reckless team that's out there doing crazy shit.
Whoa, fuck it, let's do this.
Yeah. But then you see that same reckless team 5 years down the road or 6 years down the road where life, you know, been down some paths or whatever, whatnot, and he's coming to his own. He's now a responsible young man.
Made some mistakes. Made some mistakes and learned from those mistakes and got better. That's the fucking point of life. I think
it's doing the exact same thing. You know, it's no question the Vert is a very, very good mod.
Good.
And, you know, the Vert was the highest priced of all three of them. to say I can't take anything away from it. It's a beautiful, well-performing mod.
Okay.
But with the 3 that I had on the table, if I was faced with it, I'd still pick the mech life.
And what I will say about the unicorn mods, which was my main. I mean, I had problems with the switches or whatever, but my main thing with them was the pricing was not all right. It was incorrect for what you were getting, right? And it seemed, but the Vert has come down. I mean, they were selling those things for, you know, upwards of $200, but now the Vert is actually pretty reasonable. It's right along the lines of a Vindicator, right?
120, I believe, something like that.
That's right along the lines of a Vindicator as far as price wise. So I mean, they've definitely come back to earth and realize what the price point should be on a mech mod.
Yep. And it's just one of those things, man, where like, again, where you had your issues with it, and I really thoroughly enjoyed
Loved it. Yeah, I know.
The best thing about that is that's what vaping is. It's a being able to have 2 different opinions of something and enjoy. I enjoy it, you enjoy it, or you dislike it, I may dislike it. What's right for me may not be right for you. I've said that a million times
Absolutely.
over.
That's one of your mantras, really.
That's a beautiful thing about vaping.
Yeah.
You know, and it's okay to have differences of opinion. It's okay to have differences in acceptabilities, like what I accept and what I understand, and what you accept and what you understand, 2 totally different things, you know. And
I understand, absolutely.
It's and something that, what people need to have in this industry is an open mindset to say, hey, because somebody likes something doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to like it, or if somebody dislikes something doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to dislike it.
Absolutely. And that leads directly into something else. So I'm pretty open about the fact that I'm not paying attention to stuff like I used to. I'm very happy in my lane, to take a a phrase from Mr. Just Right, in doing this Amigo stuff. So I wasn't really actually too cognizant of what had happened, but apparently Joel is no longer on the vape stew, and I did ask him beforehand if it was okay to talk about, because I just want to get his perspective on it, because I honestly didn't even watch any of it, because I wanted to hear from him, because I trust Joel's opinion above all else. So maybe if you're okay with it, maybe just tell me what happened, because I guarantee people in chat know more than I do.
So he did ask me before the show started, and I told him the very same thing I tell if we're on a live Q&A and you asking me questions is, you can ask me any question that you want, but please understand that the answer that you're given may not be the answer that you wanted to hear. Mm-hmm. It will be an honest answer, but it's not going to be sugarcoated. It's not going to be none of it. It's going to be exactly what.
Then it's exactly what I want to hear. Maybe not them, but me. Yeah.
The vape stew, man. It's no secret. Me and Stan, we got together. We had our very first thing way back a little over a year ago. We had over a year on the stew, and we grew together. You know, him, Demo Vapes, Nick Bassett.
Love it.
And then later down the road, whenever Demo left out, you know, we tried to get some different people in. We had Sherlock Holmes on there.
I remember that. Yeah.
There was a little issue there, and that didn't pan out or play out like we expected it to. So we had an open seat, and then we brought up Vapor Swaggins. Vapor Swaggins come on board, and he was there. He's still there now.
Yeah.
And I think now it's like Demo Vapes, Swaggins. Maybe I don't think Demo's like a regular. I think he's just a guest.
I will say this one thing, and then I'll let you continue. I loved that. I was a guest on the show. Me and Vinyl and Vapor were a guest one time, and I loved the dynamic between the 4 of you. Speaking of you, Joel, Joel, Tenacious, Nick, and Demo. And then once Demo left, I was just kind of meh, and I didn't really watch it anymore, to be honest with you. But because I just thought the 4 of you had a great chemistry, you know. So go ahead.
That's
continue.
What made it the stew.
Yeah, you know, it was. It absolutely was. 100%.
Had 4 different opinions and 4 different views of things, and you know, each to their own as to how they felt about things. And you know, I understand that I'm unwavering at times.
Which
but guess what? That's never going to change. Nope. It's not going to change for anybody, man. Like that's not the way that's not the way I'm raised. That's not the way I'm raising my children. You know, I do open my mind and listen, you know, to what other people have to say about something. Mm-hmm. And if it does change my opinion or view, I'll gladly say, hey, yeah, it changes it. You know, I recant my statement or whatever it may be. But that's very rarely does that happen.
You know, it's humility, but the fact is you're not going to voice something that you don't have some sort of backing on and understanding of. That the people that have to apologize all the time are people that are talking shit that they don't understand. You don't do that.
And the stew grew. You know what I mean? It grew very, very fast. And they grew in a direction that I wasn't growing, you know, and I'm going to say this wholeheartedly, in the words of Batman, you know, like YouTube is not my Hollywood.
Goddamn right. God, I love that.
It's not for me. You know what I mean? YouTube is not a business for me. You know, like I don't understand. I do understand why people want to make money in YouTube, but YouTube is not a business for me. I'm not going to sit here and bite my tongue because there's $1 behind it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Fuck that. I'm going to say what I want to say, and you can keep your damn dollar, and I'm going to make 10 more elsewhere. Where you sit on that $1 you want me to bite my tongue for.
Yep.
And we just grew in different directions, you know, and it was like, well, Joy, you're kind of hostile at times, you know, and, you know, this is like we want to be played in vape shops and things like that. And well,
they mistake passion for hostility. There's a difference.
And I guess you can say that, but I do get hostile over something I'm passionate about.
I'm pretty sure you've yelled at me a few times. That's okay.
You know, like it's one of those things that if I'm passionate about something and it keeps getting brought up or it comes into jeopardy, well, don't expect me not to get hostile. You know what I mean? I'm not afraid to, when push comes to shove, hell, I have no problem drawing first blood. I promise you.
Goddamn right.
Issues at all with me in doing so. I do so because it's something that I stand up for. And I'm not standing up for me. Oh, I want the limelight. I'm doing it for me. No, I'm standing up for the hundreds of thousands of other fucking people back there that have the potential to have this for themselves one day.
Yep.
You know, and that's something that I think that mindset's been lost. That
Absolutely.
People want to sacrifice themselves for the well-being of others.
Absolutely.
Instead, we want to sacrifice these for the well-being of ourselves.
Yep.
And that's not the way that I move, man. And
nope.
With the whole vape stew deal, it's no love lost, man. No personal issues there, nothing
Good.
at all.
You know, that's also something I wanted to ask about. I mean, obviously, I saw a little bit of Stan's little Q&A thing, and he seemed so. I mean, and I love Mr. Stanley. He's a sweetheart. I love him. He's fantastic. God, he looked so uncomfortable. He was so out of his element trying to talk about something like that. And I just felt bad, and that's really the only thing I watched before this was just parts of that, and that's why I was kind of apprehensive about asking you, because I know that you guys have had a relationship, like a friendship for so long, and I was just so worried that was something that was compromised, but it seems like maybe that's not the case. Hopefully,
man, it's not that it's like compromised or anything like that, but I ain't second choice to nobody.
Goddamn right. Fuck yes.
I ain't never been that way, man. You know, if I tell you I'm done, I'm done. You know, whenever we move forward, you can't make forward progress looking behind you. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like if we making headway together and then we separate for some damn reason, like I said, if a man falls, you don't stop. You keep on your mission. You keep doing what the goal was intended.
Yep.
That's the same way with me, man. If something falls or somebody falls off, man, that's your choosing.
Yep.
So be it. I'm not pushing anybody away. But I'll be damned if I'm going to stop and pick somebody up so we can continue forward. It ain't happening.
And no, I feel you, man, because I've had, you know, I'm being on YouTube for a little while now, even though I've dropped all that other shit or whatever. But like there was so many times where it was like, hey, I'm going to do this with this person. I'm going to start a show with this person. I'm going to do this. And then it was just very much the idea of, oh, well, yeah, whatever. You know, yeah, I'll do that, I guess. And it's like, I don't want that. Either you're with me, like my amigos on this channel, or you're not, and you can fuck off. I mean, that's my man. I'm not speaking for you. I'm just saying that's the way I am. If you want to fucking sit there and talk about like, oh yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and then be a fake fuck and not back it up, then I don't want anything to do with you. It's not, I don't have enough time left in my fucking gray-bearded fucking life to deal with fake fucks. And that's why I'm happy as fuck where I am right now with Adam, Kevin, Chris, and Steve.
See, for me to sit there and worry about changing who or how I was or the way, just a separation factor, whatever it could have been. No, I had to talk to him a few times about, you know, this and that, whatever it may be. I don't really give a damn about none of that because
I know
I'm not wasting time on appealing to you. Absolutely. What you think of me makes me zero fucks. I don't care what you think of me. I'm not who I am to please you. I'm who I am for my sons, for my daughters.
Yep.
You know, whenever I do something, I have to have it in my mind and understand that the reason I'm doing it is not for anybody else in the world, but for my boys, the two boys that are standing behind me. If I stand up and address something in public, no matter where it is, no matter what the matter may be, it could be a little matter or a big matter. If I stand up and address something and put my tone on it, I'm doing it for my boys so they can realize that, hey, I remember the time my dad spoke up on this when the lady was getting her voice yelled at or kind of talked bad to by another individual. My dad put his nose in some business that wasn't his business.
Yeah.
Well, damn, it is my business.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to conduct yourself like that in front of my boys because then my boys think that's okay.
Exactly.
That's not the way that works with me.
Exactly,
so,
dude.
If anybody's ever got that interpretation of me that I am who I am because it's appealing to you, I hate to tell you you're wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not who I am to appeal to you. I'm who I am because that's who the hell I am.
Right.
And
I can't think of two less appealing in a lot of ways people to be on the same screen, honestly, because abrasiveness is a tool that I use, but it's not who I am. I'm 100% about getting information to people with no filters, no fucks given, no fucking side agendas, no fucking people behind me telling me what to say. I just want people to know what's going on. And it got to a point where I wasn't able to do that because every time I would put out a video about advocacy, I would have people that are supposed to be advocates hitting me on the DMs telling me, oh, no, you can't say that. No, you can't. I'm telling people the fucking truth. What do you mean I can't say that? You can eat my fucking dick all day long because I don't give a fuck about any of these people, any of these organizations, any of that shit. All I care about is the people that pay attention to what I'm saying, take it with a grain of salt, and go do their own research and formulate an opinion of their own. That's what I say at the end of every fucking thing I do that has anything to do with advocacy. Take what I said, research it, find something better, and do something better.
Exactly.
You
gotta... One has to maintain the ability to think for themselves, and that's something I think that YouTube vape review world has got really misconstrued and twisted to
sideways.
Is unacceptable. If somebody says something on a video that you don't agree with, that's their opinion, that's their right. They can do so. That doesn't make it the fucking golden word.
It ain't gospel.
The way it has to be. That's not it at all, man. People have different opinions of things. It's okay to have a varied opinion.
Goddamn right.
One thing I'll never do and something that I don't agree with is to weaponize your followers.
Oh my God.
The people that are subscribed to you and everything. Because the subscribe numbers, it's an honor to have. When I hit 7,000, I was pleased with the 7,000. When I hit 7, I was surprised with 7.
Up to 7? Nice. Congratulations, man. That's amazing.
When I get to 10, I'll be happy with 10. When I get to 20, I'll be happy with 20. But I'll be just as happy with the 20 as I was the first 7, the first 2, the first one that was out there.
Bro, we just hit 200 today because this is a new channel, and we hit 2 real quick, and we couldn't be more appreciative of every one of those 200 people. Because, dude, that's huge. That's important. I don't give a fuck about numbers or whatever, but it's important to me on this thing that we're doing now that people enjoy it because it's all about people. None of us give a fuck about being fucking vape famous. None of us give a fuck about getting money out of this fucking industry. We're just trying to fucking do shit that we think is cool, that is creative, that is different, and people are fucking getting onto that, man, and I fucking love it. That's why I had people like Eric. I'm having people like you to have these discussions because people on regular shit ain't going to talk about the shit we're going to talk about, It's just not a thing.
And I'm not afraid to stand by myself. You know what I mean? It's the way I conduct myself in the front of 10,000 versus the way I conduct myself by myself is the exact same. It doesn't change. The audience doesn't change how I present myself or how I speak. To be like the vape stew, man, being asked not to be a part of that anymore. That a lot of people say, man, that had to suck. That sucked. It did suck.
Okay, and so did that happen live on the show?
No, I was told I want to say 5:30 that evening or something. I was given a video, sent a video telling me, hey, look, man, we no longer want you to be a part of the show. We're going to go in different directions. And I was like, cool, you know what I mean? But I went ahead and I got on there and I gave it one last show for the viewers that are out there because there's people that show up every week to watch that show that they may not hear what they wanted to hear, but they heard what they needed to hear.
I feel you.
And I owed it to them to give them one last, not to the panel members. I don't give a two shits about it. I owed it to the viewers out there, the community, to give it one last go. And at the end of the show, expressed it and made it very clear that this is the path we're choosing moving forward. But I'm not afraid to stand by myself, man. Like that doesn't bother me. It's not the first time I've ever been asked not to be a part of something.
Yeah. No,
and guess what?
Absolutely.
Probably not going to be the last time I'm asked not to be a part of something. You think when we have PTA meetings, do you think I'm like the first guy they nominate to be the board of the PTA? Fuck no, it's not.
Should be.
Why? Because I don't agree with having a fence around my son's school that if there's an emergency situation, that they're going to put it in the lockdown mode. You lock down that school and my son's on the other side of that fence, ain't a fence high enough going to keep me away from him. He's my son.
Right.
So whatever's there, I'm going to go address. And same thing with this industry, man. Like I'm a firm believer in the community holds the power.
Yeah.
Like I want people to understand that wholeheartedly. You tired of seeing pod reviews? Stop buying fucking pods.
Absolutely. And there's no more succinct statement than that, but nobody seems to understand it. You know, you can shout that. Oh, everybody wants to bitch about pod systems. Well, there's a reason why every review is on a pod, because that's all you fucking fucks are buying. You know?
And we were speaking on the subscriber count earlier. Yes, it's a blessing to have those numbers. But you know what the profile done more than anything? It proves something to every major manufacturer in China and even the small mom and pop manufacturers in the States and around the world. Subscribers don't equal sales.
Goddamn right. And you know,
I promise you.
And that's
the
true.
Subscription, the people that subscribe does not equal sales.
And
they have that 10% rule. They say, 10% of your followers will do. I don't even think it's that. It's just we have to have that mindset. If it's something you enjoy, go use it.
Absolutely. And that's absolutely correct too. And it does go back to somebody else on the stew too. Because look at what Stan's products have done. They've been immensely popular. And what does he have? Like 5,000-6,000 subs?
I don't know.
I know, but I mean that's a guess from God knows when. But like that's true. That's so true. That it's not how many people are subscribed to you. It's whether or not the product is fucking amazing, which is something that you did. You came out with something that was new and amazing, and it caught people, and people were fucking excited about it. That's what counts. Not how many people watch you review the next fucking pod system every 2 weeks. And
looking back on the profiles release, man, what I realized, I'm somebody who likes to study markets, demographics, who's spending what, where, what's appealing to the different regional areas and what's selling different regional areas. The profile taught me something, that if you catch the market at the right time and you cause even at the wrong time, and you cause enough of a disruption,
right, a glitch in the matrix,
and then continue to capitalize on that disruption that you've made, the possibilities are endless. Instead, we have this mindset where we see the way things are going and we just want to fall in line with the way things are going.
Yeah.
Instead of causing the disruption and kicking shit off to the left field and doing what you want to do yourself. And if you do that and keep that mindset, man, it's risk and reward. It's a risky thing to do, but the rewards are always going to be greater, and doing so with the profile, man, it's put me in another lane that I know.
Your own lane.
I'm in another lane right now, and there's no traffic. The road's wide ass open, and I've been on the pedal, the gas pedal, the little pedal all day, all night, ever since.
Yeah.
What that's done is that's put more and more gap between me and those that are starting to get in this lane. Yeah. There's still a lot of ground they got to make up to catch up.
That's absolutely right.
I'm not hitting the big pedal for nothing.
Yeah.
I'm still.
That's funny. You put it that way, because we did speak before this a little bit about this whole lane thing, and I said, you started your own lane, and that's awesome. And I said, well, shit, that fucking lane's starting to get crowded, isn't it, with all these motherfuckers copying what you did? But the fact is, that's a perfect analogy. What you just said is that you've been in that lane long enough and slamming the gas long enough that you're on the Autobahn and they're still in the fucking carpool lane 400 miles behind you. So, I mean, there's nothing that is a better feeling, I'm sure, than knowing that you're ahead of the game.
And it's what's hot today is going to die off eventually.
Yeah.
But in this industry, we live life cycles. We revisit the past over and over again. I have no doubt in my mind that the profile platform will be revisited again over again, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But I don't want to anticipate the curve. I want to see past the curve. I don't want to just, okay, well, I got through the turn first. No, I don't want to be the first one. The profile wasn't the first mesh RDA out there.
No.
There was other people going through the curve wide ass open and running off and,
yeah,
you know,
they hit the curve and went through the fucking embankment.
So instead of just sit back and observe the situation. Like I say, everything I do has to be calculated and watched and observed. Why are things happening the way they're happening? What can I do? Where does this need to be done? And you don't have to be the first one out the gate. You know, you just got to get to the finish line. And the profile's made it to its finish line. I'm on my next one. And I got 3 projects right now, man, that today alone.
Can you talk about them at all or no?
I will tell you that probably the first one out the gate is the one that means the most to me.
Really?
Something that is near and dear to my heart. It is something that I've said before, that my mother, I gave her a profile. I gave her a Unity. She can't use it, though. She vapes, but she cannot use either one of them.
Why?
Because she doesn't – I don't feel comfortable with her using it, with not understanding –
okay, I got you.
RDA and the way things work and how to be safe on the battery side of things and, ensuring – she's just at that point where it's not something I feel comfortable with her using.
I got you.
And yes, it may have went on to sell and still go up every month. The numbers are still through the roof. But have I really accomplished anything if my own mother can't use something that I've designed and put my name on?
I see where you're going. Okay. All right.
You know? So to my next one to be something my mama can use is the most prideful thing ever. Like, I don't give a damn if it sells 500 units. If it sells 500 units or 499 units and the 500th one was to my mother, that's what
matters.
The profile, it wasn't designed to go off and sell what it sold a day.
Yeah.
What it was designed to do was to make people look at mesh in a different platform and writing it off and just saying, hey, you know what, that's not a good heating element. That's not a good heating element.
That's exactly what it did, which is amazing. Because I mean, yeah, you were firing a shot into a very niche market at the time, because there was people that did like their mesh, right? There was a few, but it was very few and far between, especially because it's a niche within a niche, right? It's the hobbyists that like mesh. You know what I mean? And that because I remember, you were messing with this thing forever. I remember back in the day on the stew, you covering up like this for what, 6 months, a year, almost? And
the majority of that was the delay was my logo,
which is amazing, by the way. I like the clouds.
The fact that the hashtag, the fact that it's a hashtag, MRJUSTRIGHT1, that's my official logo. That's mine.
Yeah.
That wasn't that brought about an issue, where somebody said, you can't have a logo that's a hashtag. The fuck I can't.
Why?
I do.
Why?
Because then go punch in the hashtag, go on your Instagram, punch in hashtag and then M and see what pops up.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that might be okay. Yeah, that might be a little
see, everything I do is a calculated step.
Yeah.
So much down to the damn logo.
I love it.
It was going to be a hashtag. Why? Because hashtags are a searchable thing.
Yeah.
If my logo is a fucking hashtag and this thing's went around the world, Vodafone has global distribution, and that hashtag is on the front of that box. What does that do?
That's a winner.
If Vodafone parts ways with me and I part ways with Vodafone, what does that do?
It's still there. It's a thing that
hashtag has gone anywhere? No,
nope.
That hashtag
it's written in stone.
Exactly.
Just like the Great Pyramid. It ain't going nowhere.
It's calculated moves. I wasn't the first guy out of the gate. There's plenty of product designers out there before me. I watched what they did and what would I do if I had the same situation, if I had the same thing, what would I do?
And
I wanted my logo to be a stamp. That way it looks like I just stamped it. Like, hey, that's just right one approved right there. That's it.
And that is cool. That's a cool thing about your logo that I never really realized is that it is like one of those old school stamps. Boom. That's fucking rad, man.
Stamp of approval.
I love it. I fucking love it, man.
That's just the tip of the iceberg, man. When you want to start getting deep in the thoughts and the way things are done, why they're done specifically the way they're done. A lot of people don't realize that Walmart spent millions of dollars on a study on lighting. The lighting inside your Walmart, Walmart spent millions of dollars. And they found that the lighting that you go into your Walmart today, that lighting does something to your brain that makes you want to spend money in their store. Same with the temperature inside their place. Same with casinos and the way the
pumping the oxygen in.
Yep.
And an even and even an older version of that is McDonald's. The red with the yellow has been proven to make you hungry.
Yep.
You know.
So I mean, that's it. The
marketing.
It's the brain. The way I look at things and the way
psychological marketing
to ensure that it will have more of an impact.
Yeah.
Not for myself, but for the industry itself. And if people go search that hashtag, they'll say, hey, this guy, he speaks on this, this, and this. He doesn't filter anything. Hey, more people need to know that. If you go Rip Trippers, man, that like 2.5 million views or something like that. But that right after the fact, right when it launched, man, it hit 1 million views almost instantly. It was crazy.
Oh, yeah. He was fucking goo gaga over the motherfucker, wasn't he?
But the 1 million views, I didn't get 1 million views on my channel.
Well, no. Yeah, no.
But guess what? 1 million, 2.2 or 2.5 million see that hashtag Mr. Just Right One. And it just makes sense to me to do that. I do want to answer a question, though, because ID Voca brought it up. Vapor Odyssey and Mr. Just Right One, would you help someone get started with designs for someone who is unknown in the industry? It's a very, very interesting question because I do plan, whenever I'm done with my time in this vape career of designing products, to position myself where I can help others do the same. Kind of like a scout for ideas out there, like, hey, not one of them blasted Instagram posts, hey, do you have an idea?
Right.
Get yourself $1,000 check. No.
Right.
I want to literally find like-minded people who look at things differently. Most people are so concerned of thinking outside the box.
Yep.
Everybody's thinking inside the box, and I've used this analogy before. You got 10,000 people inside the box passing around the same damn idea.
Yeah.
Of the 10,000, you have maybe 100 on the outside of the box that are thinking outside of the box. I want to be the guy that's thinking outside of the box, but I want to put something back in the box to keep those 10,000 idiots working on the same shit. Yeah, and that's exactly I want them fighting over that same idea.
Throw them a scrap and let them kill each other over the scrap and then fucking reap the rewards afterwards. It's like some Sun Tzu Art of War shit.
It's deep, man. It's a mental thing, to say that I don't want to be the guy that thinks outside the box. Not only think outside the box, I want to think outside the box, but I want to bring something back to the box to keep the 10,000 that are in the box entertained.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I can go back to thinking outside the box without any interruptions. You talked about the gap between, being in your own lane and continuing to make headway. The way you do that is put something in that box that occupies everybody. They're not even concerned with, damn, where'd he go? Mm-hmm. Well, damn, he's way the hell down there.
Wait a minute, what am I fucking around with here? Oh fuck, god damn it, now I lost.
But I do plan to be in a position one day to position myself to help others make the context that they need.
See, that's
in this industry to get their ideas out there. Because I'm not, dude, this is a infant industry. Yeah, we are so young.
It's a baby.
When you have your Grim Greens, your Vapor Chronicles, your Mike Vapes, your Rip Trippers, your Phil Rosardos, your Twisted 420s, those guys, man, those are like the pioneers of this industry, right? Like their names will go down in infamy with this industry. And of course, like you said, the Profile or whoever comes after me and Stan with the Dreamer. The Dreamer is going to go down in infamy as one of the best mechs you could buy of all time.
Easily.
So, but that doesn't stop there. Yeah. Like, there's so much more to come.
And that's funny.
Right now that are watching there that have the potential to watch.
Yeah.
That it's one of them watching is that same individual. Because at one point in time, guess what? I was watching somebody else's video.
Exactly. So I did actually, I spoke to Vapors Odyssey before on this subject. And I told him, hey, I have no ties to any kind of industry. I can't do anything for you. But the advice that I gave him is, whatever you do, don't show what you showed me to anybody in the industry, to any reviewers, to anybody else, because they're going to take your shit, they're going to run with it, and you're going to have no recourse. But I can say with all fucking honesty that if you talk to Joel about what your ideas, which I've seen, which I'm sure is a great idea. I'm not a designer. I have no interest in that. But hearing what he just said, that's fucking amazing, and I love it, and I'm glad that he's willing to do something like that. Of course, at the time when he brought it to me, I had no inkling that anybody would be interested in doing that. But that's fantastic, and I'm blown away to hear it. It's a beautiful thing because 99%.
Like 5 products I did, which we spoke on 5 products. There's a reason why I set 5 products out. Why I want to do 5 products only is because I don't want to be like the heavyweight champion of the world who should have retired and walked away and always had a belt to hang on his wall. Instead, he steps back in the ring for $1 and gets his ass handed to him. I don't want to be that guy.
And he's stuttering the rest of his life because he didn't fucking hang him up when he was on top.
Yes, there's a perfectly good. It's okay to move forward, to grow, you know. And I say this a million times over. Yeah, I have ideas for vape. I have ideas for the CBD THC market. I do have ideas and concepts that I want to pursue in that industry one day. Mm-hmm. But that's just a small portion. I'm not visioning a little bitty ass pond. I want the Great Lakes. I want the oceans. I want bigger than that. There's so many other industries out there that could use a fresh set of eyes. And if I can use this platform to get me to there, then I'm doing that. You know, and I'm not saying I'm using YouTube as that platform or using the vape industry as that platform that gets me. But no, I'm making forward progress. I do not intend to be around designing vape products.
But you have to use the tools that are in your box. This is your box, you know, and you use what you have to get where you need to be.
And I'm not saying I'm leaving the vape industry at all. Just I don't want to be for me to be sitting here crowding the industry for longer than I should is prohibiting the growth of this industry.
Yeah, exactly.
Letting others know that, hey, man, I have a great idea. Well, guess what? Your idea can be made one day. I promise you it can. There's no reason for me to sit here and continue to crowd after I'm done achieving whatever I wanted to achieve and moving forward.
I love it.
The same with life in general, man. Whenever my purpose on this planet Earth has been fulfilled and done, by all means, don't let me sit there and keep wasting fucking oxygen and taking it up, man. I hang my shit up and let one of them youngins, the new generation,
one of them fucking kids.
There's no sense in me wasting.
One of them fuckers all full of piss and vinegar, ready to grow. You know, I'm just like, I'm tired. I'm taking a nap. Sorry. No, but hey, this has been great, man. We've got an hour going. I think we've got into everything that we wanted to get into. You've been fucking amazing. Why don't you go ahead and give us the last little bit? Maybe we'll take a couple. Give us your last little bit. We'll take a couple questions and then we'll be done. All right.
Here's my last little bit right here, man. And I wanted to address this with you, Chuck. I haven't followed what you've done so much, man. And I'm gonna be honest with you. We're not gonna sit there and bullshit back and forth. The reason why I hadn't followed you so much as what you've done is because I was a little skeptical of what was happening with you. Mm-hmm. You know, like whether it be your Instagram, your Facebook, or what. And it's nothing personal against you. It's just me as an individual. I'd say, look, let me pull back off the situation a little bit and just observe and watch for a bit.
Yeah.
And not neglecting watching you or observing what you were doing, but other things had my attention elsewhere for me to needed me to address.
Absolutely.
I couldn't concern myself with what Chuck was doing, what Chuck had going, whatever it may be. But I know you're making headway. I know you've done, you know, kind of hung up your channel and your Instagram. And truth be told, when I seen the thing that, hey, it says Chuck's on or NorCal Vaping's unfollowed you, I was like, well, fuck Chuck. Shit, you don't want to follow me?
Well, no, I didn't unfollow you. I deleted the channel and the Instagram. I didn't realize
you deleted the channel because I hadn't been following you.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to sit there and lie to you and tell you, oh, yeah, man, I've followed you. You're a whole step of the way. I've been supportive of you the whole way.
Yeah.
I haven't, man, because I really did not know where you're at. And talking with other individuals in this industry, too, there were not just in the industry, but community. Let me say that, clarify that. Not industry, but community. You know, like, man, Chuck's a little off, dude. Like, we don't know where he's at. Like, what's the deal is? Like, he's a hard read. He's a hard read.
Yeah, that's me.
Now, that's not against you or for you. It's just being honest with you.
Yeah, no,
that's take it personal that I haven't followed your every step or every move.
I would be concerned. I would be concerned of anybody that has. I mean, I have been all over the place, and that's because I have a real life. You know, I put 1,001% into the advocacy aspect of this for so long on Instagram, on fucking YouTube, whatever the fuck it was, and it took away from my real life. And several times I've had to reboot. It's just a thing. And the way that I am is very non-conducive to like sticking with me as some sort of like person to pay attention to. And I completely understand that. I'm very cognizant of the way that I am and what I've done. You know what I mean? And so, no, I don't take that as any kind of offense. I completely understand it. I'm shocked that more people aren't like you, to be honest with you. I've had people that have been with me for years now, and I'm shocked. You know, God, like, you like watching car wrecks? Well, shit, here I am. Here I am. Blood on the fucking highway, brother.
We talked about the advocacy side of things, taken away from your personal life, man. Like my Instagram, it's mainly vape shit. You know, like you'll see pictures of my kids on there. You go back and look and stuff, but I'm not really Instagram heavy on that. Facebook is where I'm at all the time. It's like the old man thing to do, I guess.
I guess so, right?
My Facebook vaping with Mr. Just Right One, dude, there ain't shit over there. There's probably 900 people that follow. I do post there, you know, from Instagram for the business account thing. That's why I have that account. But Joel Robinson, that's who I am as a man. Like, that's me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm Mr. Just Right One is a part of me. It's my brand. It's not me.
Yeah.
Mr. Just Right One is my brand. Who I am is Joel Isaac Robinson, a 36-year-old male, born and raised in the great state of Texas, a family man, works his ass off, has to stay busy. I don't decipher personal life and vape life.
Yeah.
Vape is part of my personal life. It's what's provided for my family. It's what's going to provide for my kids and my girls in college. And it's done so much for them. So I don't ever try to work on keeping the two separate.
Yeah.
I want people to understand and see why I do what I do. I do it for my kids.
Yeah.
What really gets me is when you have people that have their vape account and then they have their personal life account. What are you afraid for your personal family? It's like, well, being like, well, if somebody says something about that, and I'm gonna have, well, you say something about one of mine, shit, I'm gonna come see you about it.
Right. Well, that's the thing. That's the thing is that I never had any social media kind of anything. I mean, I started a Facebook because I had to be an admin in the Squid Vapor group because I was working for Squid Industries. That's the only reason why I had one. And I started Instagram because I found that I like to take pictures of vape shit, right? So I never had any kind of idea of like, oh, hey, this should be about my life. The thought never even crossed my mind. It was always just like, oh, this is vape shit. This is an aspect of my life that has nothing to do with my real life. And that was a problem, I think. Me trying to separate this from that was very taxing.
Dude,
it was very taxing. It's very difficult. And it became an issue. It gave me great anxiety to not be able to fucking express myself as a person because I was so worried about expressing myself as an information fucking outlet. You know what I mean? And that disconnect caused a lot of the, like you said, people like, I don't know what the fuck is up with that guy. Yeah, neither did I. Neither do I, nor will I ever. So either you're going to take it as it is, or you're going to kick rocks. And I don't mind either way. And I, you know, and that's just the way that I am. And I literally don't mind. I'm not the kind of person that's going to be like, oh, that guy's an asshole. I don't like what he has to say. Okay, that's fine. Cool. I'll talk to the next guy. It's not.
But I wanted to clarify that with you, man, because I'm sure after this goes up, there's going to be some people, keyboard warriors in the comments. Well, Joel said this. I'm telling you right now, I didn't follow your every move. I'm telling you why I didn't follow your every move.
I don't give a fuck.
That way, whoever wants to be keyboard warrior after this goes up, they don't really have nothing to say because I've already told you.
Yeah, no, that's perfect.
It wasn't sit here on
live. I don't pay attention to that shit anyway. Yeah, I mean, I think we're a little too old to listen to fuckers that can't talk in person.
And as far as Vape Odyssey showing you his idea, people get so pissed off at me when they shoot me a message. Man, I got this great idea I want you to see. I can see the preview of that chat.
Yeah.
I have this great idea. I won't ever open that fucker. I'll delete it, whatever. Why? Because I don't ever want to see their idea and me be thinking the same thing or already in pursuit of the same thing.
That's a great point.
And then them be like, well, he used my idea. See, here's where he opened it on Instagram back on this day. Well, no, asshole. If you go back and check the 3D CAD files that are dated way back when, I was already in pursuit of that. But I don't ever want to go down that avenue.
Yeah, so because I remember you said something about, I guess it had to be about the profile because it was a long time ago, where you talked about if you have a great idea, you put it in an envelope, you go to the fucking post office, you have them address it, and then that way it's something that is
it's called a poor man's copyright. If you have a great idea,
that's what it is.
That is going to be revolutionary, something that's game changing, draw out and detail is absolutely the very most detail you can possibly get. put it in an envelope, take it to the post office, mail it to yourself via certified mail.
There you go. That's what
If
it
you
was.
mail it to yourself certified mail, that means you have to sign for that package.
Yeah.
Do not open that package. You already know what you put in it, you dummy. You don't have to open it.
Right.
Put it up in the fucking filing cabinet. Put it in your safe. Put it in your safety deposit box at your bank.
Mm-hmm. Even better.
And if somebody comes out with that same idea or same concept in any certain time span, you can then file that, hey, no, this is my idea. I was already pursuing this, already working on this. And they'll take it to the judge. The judge will receive that certified mail that was certified, sealed, dated, and signed. And he'll tell you, and the filing complainant, whoever it is, say, hey, do you want me to open this, or do you want to settle this, or do you want to write this off and be done with it? Because if I open this and it's exactly as you say it is in here, and he's right, he's automatically going to win whatever he's asking for. Mm-hmm. So if I sued you for $10 million, and he says, do you want me to open this? Or do y'all want to come to a settlement or agreement or what? The minute he opens that and sees that it's in there, you're automatically going to win.
Yeah. And that's
called a poor man's copyright.
Yeah. And and I remember that. I remember the first time, maybe it probably wasn't the first time you mentioned it, but I remember the first time I heard it. It was a long time ago, at least a year ago. And I was like, man, that is a fucking fantastic. People should be doing that.
Yeah, it's a lot of people don't realize that, man. It's something to do to protect yourself and protect your ideas, and to say that I don't have a whole fucking dresser drawer full of certified mail to myself would be wrong.
I bet you somebody would like to get in that fucking drawer, I'll tell you what.
It's one of those things, man, where you have to protect your ideas. You have to protect what's yours, and the best part about it is if something happens to me and say I've already shared with my wife that, hey, this is, an idea that I have and I'm write it down as soon as myself certified mail. Something happens to me and then a year later somebody else comes out with the same idea. She can also take that same certified mail and say, no.
Yeah.
His and whatever is awarded will go to my children.
Absolutely. Oh, so we're gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna let Joel give his last little piece, which I know I just want to hear him say it because I know his whole thing. That's really great. But one of my buddies, my best friend, fucking Vape Malone, Kevin. We talked about him a little bit before because he's in Texas. Well, he might be out of Texas now, but he wanted to say hello to Mr. Just Right.
Absolutely, man. I know, very familiar with their product and once they released Richard Vape and Twisted 420. That was actually one of his favorite RDAs.
Capstone, right there.
And I got to say, the one with the little pyramids on it,
that's
aesthetically.
Capstone.
On the outside, you got
I got the studded one.
Yeah, the studded one actually looks pretty fucking cool.
I fucking love it.
So, but yeah, that was one of Twisted's favorite RDAs right there. I can tell you that personally. I know that because I watched a guy use the shit out of it.
Hell yeah.
And he's like a neighbor to me, a brother to me. So
that's awesome.
Shout out to you, Malone, and what you guys accomplished with the capstone. It was a wonderful, wonderful design.
Fucking love it.
A lot of people out there enjoyed that. I'm going to do like I always do, guys, and that is going to be check in and check out at the same damn time. But before I do so, I want to say it because I absolutely mean it whenever I say it. And I want you to understand that I mean it, or otherwise I wouldn't have said it. If at any given point in time you have ever felt like you are not a somebody, I want you to know that you are a somebody in somebody's eyes, and that somebody is me. I absolutely love each and every one of you. Stay focused, stay blessed. Mr. Just Right One is checking in and checking out at the same damn time. I'm out.
Fuck yes. Boom.